Yo, hello. I figured it was about time to make another ramble. It's been, I think it's like 5 or 6 months since the last one. I just checked. I was fishing. I was going for 99 fishing and cooking in the last ramble, and since then, I figured I'd just give like a little update. I've been back to ranging ogresses, and then, telegrabbing my gnats, and then superheating. Um, and I've been pretty addicted to it. I think ranging ogresses gets old pretty fast, but the breaks to telegrab and then after a few months you get to smith for a few weeks. It's pretty nice. But I'm currently going for 200 mil range, and the whole time I'm gonna telegrab my gnats, and then every like 100k or so gnats I'm gonna take a break to superheat. Um, that way, I'm not risking upwards like 1.5 mil gnats in the wildy. I figured that was smarter. But right now I'm at, let's see, 46.3 mil range XP. I ended my last ranging session like, I don't know, a year and a half ago. It was about 19 mil, and I was like ranging minnows, nogies. But so I'm, what's that, 37, 27 mil? I don't know, some amount of range XP since then. And I just recently, well, I guess like 2 or 3 months ago, I got 99 smithing, and I'm gonna keep going, obviously. 200 mil range should get me like 60 mil, 65 mil smithing, which is pretty cool. That'll get me rank 1 for free to play UIM. Or I guess, I don't even know if any iron has that much. But right now, rank 1 is Kellerada, who probably has been playing in at least over a year now. I miss Kella, but so I'm gonna be ranging, and we've only had one UIM with 200 mil range, which is 5 int, and that was like, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago. That could have been 3 years, I don't know. But current rank 2 is Ariadna 96, and he is a beast. I love him, but he's at 135-ish mil range XP. I'm at 46, so I'm like 90 mil behind. But with the pace that him and I have both been going, I think I should be able to pass him right before 200 mil if I keep up my current pace and he doesn't catch like a second wind or something. It's a little bit difficult because obviously I'm 90 mil XP behind, but I'm also taking breaks to telegrab and use my gnats at superheat, so I'm losing like nearly like 2,000 hours, or my grind is taking 2,000 hours longer than just straight 200 mil range would be. So I really have to, lock in. But if I get even just like 30 weeks of range, I should be able to pass him. And like that's my current goal, is to get rank 2 range. I don't know if it's possible, but we'll see. But that's my current goal. That's what I've been going for. I'm gonna like take a check within myself once I get to 50 mil range, because when I get 50 mil range, I'll have enough gnats to superheat again, and then I'll decide if I want to keep going. But I think there's no reason not to keep going, because I like telegrabbing, I like superheating, ranging's pretty fun. It's okay. But also 200 mil range would get me like 96 prayer and like 97 crafting or something like that, and that's just helping me max a lot easier, because I really don't like crafting. Rock Southwest is super cancer, but I love Boneyard, I love Prayer. I just can't train Prayer really for the last like 9 months because of the hop limit garbage that Jagex has been doing. Um, so there's probably ways to get around it, like, I was talking with Iodin, like you do like 9 minutes of double hop and then like 3 minutes of single world Boneyard. I don't know. It would be worse than just double hop, and I kind of want to wait to do prayer until I can actually double hop again. But 200 mile range will give me 96 prayer, which is super close to 99. So once I have 200 mile range, it's just like a few thousand hours of RC to max, and that's kind of my goal right now. Well, that's my goal after 200 mil range is to max. And yeah. So speaking of telegrabbing, just, what was that, like 2 or 3 days ago, Jagex removed the menu stones hider plugin. And for those of you who don't know, I'll show like the clips I have on screen, but it made telegraphing so much easier. It made two tick oaks like basically like RD Knights. You're just spam clicking, which is stupid. But it made telegrab a little bit easier to get like the first tick telegrab. Um, so I was like able to get super consistent like 1200 telegrabs per hour hours. But yeah, they changed or they removed the plugins, so now I'm back to how it was, where just like 900 to 1,000 telegrams an hour, which is still good. It's still really efficient compared to like what some people do. But it's frustrating that you can't just get like the turbo free telegrab anymore. But it's fine. Um, yeah, and then what else is there to talk about with RuneScape? Oh, I'm gonna show like my stats on my character. I'm at 230 mil XP, total XP, and 226 days played, which is, I don't know, is that like 6,000 hours or something? But let's see, I made the account two. It's coming up on a year and like 9 months, I'm pretty sure. Give or take a few, maybe it's like 20 months total. Um, so I have been playing a lot, and I was playing a lot more during the start of the account. I didn't have a job. I lived at my mom's house, so like I was able to play a lot more. And then not like this past summer, but the summer before that is when I moved out and like got a job. Like I had a job for like some of that time when I was living at my mom's house, but not for all of it. And then this summer I got a job, or sorry, last summer I got a job, and it's been slowing down my pace a lot. I took like 6 months where I played like 10 weeks, which kind of sucks. But, um, but yeah, I don't know, I've probably said this in a different ramble before. My last job was, I was a behavior therapist for kids with autism and like other disabilities. Like a lot of them were nonverbal, things like that. And um, before that, I was an elementary school teacher for about 2 years, a little bit less than 2 years, but um, I spent most of my working life working with kids and like in some sort of teaching role. And I kind of thought that was how my life was always going to go, because like I love teaching, I love working with kids, I love like little kids, especially like elementary school age. Those are my favorite to work with. But just this summer, my last job was like really trying me and was taxing me and everything. Like, I don't know, it was so much, and I was just like, okay, I need just a little break from all of this like teaching and all this, because it is like very mentally draining. You also don't get paid very much as a teacher. So I picked up a job at this uh, coffee place nearby, and I've been a barista there for the past nearly 6 months now. I guess it's been like 5 months. Um, and I'm so addicted to it. Like I love it so much. Being a barista, like you get to talk to like all sorts of people. It's so satisfying to like make coffee for people. And the pay is like so much more than I was making as a teacher, which is crazy because my job is so much easier. But either way, I don't know. That's what I've been doing for the last like 5 or 6 or something months, and I think I'm gonna stay with it for a while. I do. Part of me wants to go back to teaching. Like, I just feel like I have such a better impact on the world when I'm a teacher. But I know I can have a good impact on the world as a barista and like just making people feel happy for a while. Um, but I want to go back to being a teacher at least when I'm more like, financially stable. But yeah, that's kind of like the update on my life. I don't really have much else going on in my life. Um, I got a few new tattoos. If none of you know, like I've been working on my left arm. I'm trying to get the full sleeve done, and it's been like a multiple year work in progress. But this I think in like 2 or 3 weeks now I'm gonna have another appointment with my tattoo artist. I love my tattoo lady. She's the nicest person ever. She's gonna finish the rest of my forearm. I have half of my forearm done. She's gonna get like the top half of it done. Um, and then after that, it's just like probably one more session to like fill in the gaps and everything. But I'm so excited to get my left arm done because I've been working on that like explicitly for the last year and a half. I got a tattoo on my right thigh about a year ago, and then since then I haven't gone anywhere else. Just my left arm. So I'm excited to like get back to my other body parts. But yeah, I don't know. Tattoos are just expensive, and like I'm just someone that always tips my tattoo artist like at least 30%. And like I know, technically I shouldn't tip that much, but like with your tattoo artist, like it's just so like, if I'm spending $800 on like one session, like it feels weird not to like tip at least 200, Like I'll probably do like 250 or like round it up to 1,000 or something. I don't know. Maybe someone in the comments can tell me how much they tip their tattoo artists. But like I don't know. I love my lady so much and she's so sweet and like the last time I was or no, the second to last time I was there for I think 7 hours or no, it was like 8 hours. Um and we spent like an hour just like working on those different stencils and everything. And we did like 3 hours of tattooing and then she was like, "Hey, I'm hungry, I kind of want to get some Chipotle. You in?" And I was like, "Hell yeah, man, that's awesome." So she ordered Chipotle and she was like, "Oh, I got it, don't worry." And we just ate Chipotle, hung out for like 30 minutes, and like talked to her other tattoo artist that's in the building. And I was just like, this is nowhere near like the experience I have with my other tattoo shops. Like the last place I went to before her, um, the guy didn't believe in like Bactine or any sort of like disinfectant, which I is crazy. But like he did my thigh piece, and it took like 3 hours. And it's a big piece, and it's like fully shaded, and he did the whole thing in 3 hours. He didn't stop a single time. Like he stopped to like get ink on his whatever, but he didn't stop once to like rub it with Bactine or anything. Like he just went full throttle with it. And I was just like crying the whole time because it's so painful. It's just like so crazy, like the difference that different tattoo artists can have. I don't know. Also in the comments, like, what's your worst tattoo horror story? Because I've heard some crazy ones, and like it just blows my mind how like some tattoo artists can be. But anyways, that's super unrelated to what this video was supposed to be about. But yeah, that's kind of like my life right now. Um, I'm excited for the holidays. I don't really celebrate Christmas, but I'm visiting my family. Um, Around the holiday time, my brother's flying down with his girlfriend. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Um, but yeah, back to RuneScape though. Like, I've been kind of slowing down over the summer. I was working a few less hours over the summer, at my last job, and I was able to play like 50 weeks pretty consistently, 45 to 50 weeks. Um, and then I was on vacation last month or a few weeks ago, so I did slow down for that specific week. But the past weeks I'm doing like 30, 35 weeks just with how much I'm working, and I don't know. It feels like I'm not progressing as much, and like I know, it's hard to compare yourself to like when you were a NEET. If anyone was a NEET before, like you probably know what I'm talking about. Where like I'm getting like 80 weeks consistently, and then I'm working and I'm getting like 45 weeks, and then I'm working a different job a few more hours and I'm getting 35 weeks. It's just like crazy how slow my progress feels compared to, in the past, even though like I'm a lot happier now than when I was a NEET, so like it feels different. But just like looking at the high scores, like I'm passing people a lot slower and like I'm gaining EP a lot slower. It just feels weird. But speaking of the high scores though, yeah, I was looking at the high scores. I'm at 3400 EP or something like that right now. and I noticed I'm really close to passing Disciple. If any of you know, shout out Disciple. He's a terrible person, and he's not playing currently. He's doing something else with his time. But I'm about to pass him, so that's sick. And I'm also catching up on Baldoon, who I passed him a while ago. He like shot up in EP back with the EP changes we had recently. We changed smithing back from, it used to be only superheat, and then we changed it from only superheat to be like half ring of forging, half superheat, and I was really against this at the time, and I still am. And eventually, I convinced like Automelogy and everyone to be changing it back to fully superheat, and then melees and um, range were back to like ogresses and like a mix of ogresses and hill giants for melees, and that kind of shot everyone's ep up that had like like a ton of melee XP or range XP, because the ep for those went down, and then smithing went up, and my account is kind of like smithing front loaded, so I lost. I didn't. I kind of like stayed even with my ep, but a lot of other people gained a lot of ep, and so specifically Baldoon, he gained a lot of ep, and now I am behind him again. But I'm about to pass him. So if you see this Baldoon, I'm coming for you. Like I'm gonna pass you. I swear. I know you're on vacation, but yeah. Um, what else is there to really talk about? Oh, also in the background you can see I'm playing my 3 accounts right now. My free-to-play reg is smithing. I've been like kind of on and off with smithing. I've been going back to fleshies for a while on that account, trying to max melees. Um, I don't know. I really want to go back to smithing though, like full time, so I can get to 99, so I can do rune 2Hs for a little bit of money. Because I like to blow through money on buying body tallies, and it's expensive. But more importantly, on my other account, you can see I'm AFKing salvaging for sailing. Um, and yeah, sailing came out. Ooh, what was that, like 3 weeks ago now? Almost a month ago? Yeah, I'm trying to remax my pay to play iron that I used to play. I'm currently at 91 sailing. I'm trying to remax it. I'm probably gonna bring it up to like 25 mil, just cause, back before I quit, I was working on base 25 mil, so it'd be cool to actually finish that. But the sailing release, I think, has been not handled very well. I know, I was probably expecting a bunch of rollbacks and things like that, which they didn't have to roll back anything for sailing release, which I'm proud of. Usually, Jagex sucks with releases and they don't playtest shit, so you have to roll back everything. But they didn't have to roll back anything, which is cool. But they keep making changes to like the XP rates for salvaging, and they changed the XP from the crystal extractor. And then they just like immediately reverted the salvaging XP rates in the Barracuda trials. I don't know. They've been kind of messing with it a little bit too much, in my opinion. But it's pretty fun to like have on the side. I'm getting like 110k XP per hour on the just AFKing the merchant shipwrecks, and I don't know. It's just so fast. It's crazy. And then people getting like people who are like tryharding are getting 250k at the 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 Prifdinus Barracuda trial, whatever it's called. And that's just so insane. Like 250k an hour. I don't know. That's just so fast. And then like on the high scores, you can see like Fasto7 is ahead of everyone, obviously, and I kind of figured he would be, but he's at like 70 mil, and it's been out for like 3 weeks. He's gonna get 200 mil sailing in like 2 months total, and like that's just is not enough time to enjoy a skill, in my opinion. Like I know he's playing a lot of hours, but like you need, in my opinion, a skill should be like 1,500 to 2,000 hours to 200 mil. That way you can like actually enjoy the skill and like fully experience it. But when it's like a 2 month skill, this shit, like, it's just like so, it's over so fast. But I think I'm probably not popular in saying that. I feel like people like the XP rates, but that's fine, whatever. Um, but yeah, after that, what else is there to talk about, really? Um, oh, it's December. A lot of the pl- social media platforms and like media platforms are releasing their raps, and it's so crazy. There's so many like different raps. Like Spotify Wrapped has been a thing for a while, but then YouTube Wrapped, Twitch Wrapped, Discord has a Wrapped for some reason. That's been like so crazy. I know RuneScape's coming out with one. Unfortunately, the RuneScape Wrapped is linked to my Iron account, my pay-to-play Iron, and I don't really know how to change it. But I was gonna talk about my Spotify Wrapped because I feel like music is a huge part of skilling, and I wanted to say my number one artist was Lucky. If anyone knows Lucky, shout out Lucky. I was in like the 0.01% of listeners for him. All of my top songs were of his, except for I had one 42 Doug song, but Lucky was my number one. He's probably the best artist ever. Especially like, I don't know. New Lucky is kind of mid, but he's been putting out some good stuff, I guess. Um, so that was my first place. Second place was Babytron, obviously. Shout out Babytron. I went to a Babytron concert last year around this time. He was so cool to see live. He was performing with BLP Kosher, and Kosher went first, and then Tron came out, and at the end, Kosher came out for Tron, and they sang like, I think it was Mazel Tron, and like the different songs they have like that they're going bar for bar for. It was so fun. I would definitely go to another Babytron concert. Um, but yeah, speaking of Michigan rappers, shout out Rio. Um, he's probably my like one of my favorite rappers. Also, he's been putting out some good music. He put out Where Divine shit with 1900 Rugrat. That was so good. Um, he also put out some music with Vaughn. What's his name? Vaughn 1700 or something. I've been listening to him too. He's pretty good. But also, my number three was Joey Badass. It's almost always up there. I just love Joey. He also put out his album. His album, I guess that was like probably 6 months ago, but that album was kind of made. Dark Aura on that album was so fire. That was like the single he released before. That is probably my favorite Joey Badass song forever. But that album was kind of mid, to be honest. And then number four, Kodak Black. Shout out Kodak Black. I love my Florida rappers. Shout out 1900 Rugrat also. But Kodak's always going to be my top five. He's such a like pillar of my life is Kodak, just growing up. And then number five, I don't think I even listened to him that much, but Pay Gotti is number five. He had a few songs released this year that were pretty good, but he's just too much of like a drill rapper for me. And I don't know, I can like drill rap. I just don't love like murder rap and like King Von, Lil Durk type rap. That's just not really my style. Um, but he's on there, so apparently I mess with him a lot. But yeah, I love my Lucky, I love my Kodak, I love my Babytron. Outside of rap though, like that was my Spotify rap, was all rap because that's kind of what I listen to on Spotify. On YouTube I listen to a lot more like EDM. I've been really into house. I haven't listened to much trance this year, which is kind of interesting because I feel like trance is always like one of my go-tos, but house has just been so good. I went to a few clubs in real life, and they were playing these like I forget what her name was. Her name was like Miha, and she was playing some crazy house tracks. She's so good. Oh my god. Anyways, yeah, that's kind of basically it. Um, I've been listening to a lot more jazz too. Shout out Nubian Twist. They're like, I guess they're kind of like older now, but they're more new gen jazz. They kind of like mix it with different genres. They are so fire. If you listen to jazz at all, listen to Nubian Twist. You're gonna love them. Um, yeah, I don't really need to go on more of a tangent about music, I don't think, but I don't really know what else to talk about. I feel like life's been good. Things in RS have been good. Um, Shout out. I don't know. What was I gonna shout out? Shout out It's Will. He was my number one on YouTube Wrapped. He was my like top channel I watched. I watched. I don't know. I watched all of his videos and then I'll like go through his VOD channel too. He's pretty sick. But he's been like pivoting off of RuneScape, which kind of sucks because I love his RuneScape content. But I don't know. His Scary Saturdays have been fun to watch. Um, yeah, I don't know what else is there to talk about. I feel like there's not um, too much else going on in my life, so I'll just end it there. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. I will probably have another ramble out. I don't know, in 6 months. Maybe when I hit like 100 mil range, that'll be like 8 months maybe. That's kind of a far ways away, but I don't know. It's kind of I have the same gameplay loop for the next 4 or 5 thousand hours, so I don't know. Get used to what you're seeing. I guess I'll be done sailing and like my AFK combats on my reg, but yeah. I hope everyone's having a nice December. I hope you all enjoy your holidays and stay warm. It's been so cold recently down where I live. I have to walk to work every morning. I don't have a car, and work's like 10, 15 minutes away from me. So I walk there, and we got our first snowfall, what was that, like 3 or 4 days ago? 5 days ago, maybe? And it's just been so cold and freezing out. I've been not staying warm, but I hope everyone else is staying warm and, you know, saying hi to their family, seeing their loved ones for the holidays. And yeah, see you guys later.